So imagine yourself typing on Google 83 times this request and maybe like tweaking your questions until you get enough content. And then you need to bring that back in a report. Like 83 research, I think like is a 1 week of work. And you could see the research needed 14 minutes, went through 30 sources, and did 83 search.
Welcome to today's workshop. We're going to showcase a bunch of great use cases for Gen AI. We're going to focus on deep research and also ChatGPT's new image generation features.
Myself, I am actually like you. I'm a finance guy first. I worked 15 years in finance in a big French international group. And while I was in finance, the thing I loved the most was to use technology to make my work better.
What is deep research? And how do you approach it differently than kind of the normal prompts that you have within ChatGPT?
Yeah, so imagine, and that's going to be our first use case. Imagine your boss comes to you. You're in a SaaS business, like Ramp is actually. So you are a SaaS company, and your boss wants a benchmark to see where you are compared to your competitors. Problem is, with benchmark, it's really hard to find good information, and you will find yourself scrolling through all of the pages on Google, spending like hours and hours until you can really have something concrete. Well, imagine delegating this task to AI. And after having a pre-made report that you can audit because everything is fact-checked, and you can even improve it because you can continue the discussion. So that's something we are going to build together. And you need to think like how many hours people are losing on searching on internet compared to how many seconds or minutes you need just to have the same report in AI. So let me show you with deep research why it's really important that we start using that. So here, this is my prompt. Provide benchmarks, financials and operations of mid-sized SaaS companies with annual revenues of 10 to 50 million. And after a few minutes, I get a really good output in a table format with already inside all of the link to fact check that the information comes from valuable source. Now, let's see how this works concretely. So I will prompt, really important to explain what you want. So benchmarks, to explain your industry. And before going into details, the deep research will always ask you some specific information to make sure that the research doesn't go everywhere. So here, for example, we are asked about what type of vertical we are. So here, we are more in fintech. And then what type of timing you want, if you want more US or global, and if you are looking for top quartile or more range. And here we actually wanted all of them.
So this would be similar to like if you gave someone on your team, right, a junior associate, this same instructions, that junior associate might come back to you with kind of clarifying questions about the task that you just asked them to do.
Exactly. And then what you do after is you make sure that you activate the deep research. That's a button to activate. And I like to use the O3 model because O3 is reasoning, so it thinks more about the task before launching the task. So
Okay.
combining both is really like superpower because the O3 thinks and the deep research will go on all of the web to surf for the information. And you could see the research needed 14 minutes, went through 30 sources, and did 83 search. So imagine yourself typing on Google 83 times this request and maybe like tweaking your questions until you get enough content. And then you need to bring that back in a report. Like 83 research, I think like is a 1 week of work. Now let's see the output from this. So then you get, so all of this research, that's everything that was done. And you can see each time, that's basically what AI research on the web. First, search 2023 fintech SaaS gross margin. Then
And when you say searching on the web, is it like searching Google? Like what does that mean, searching on the web? Like what search engine is it using?
Yeah, so it's not really using Google because
Okay.
already like OpenAI did their own index and has already like created a network of pages, but it's replicating what Google will do.
Okay.
It's just like to simplify.
And
And
so
here,
here on the right hand side, it's showing its work. It's showing exactly what it
exactly,
did for those, what did you just say, 14 minutes? So those 14 minutes that it did those searches, looked at those sources, it's showing its work so you can follow along if you want to.
exactly.
Okay.
And then we get all of the output with first, maybe let's come back. First, the table showing the results, but also after, and that's where is actually the value. You have all of the explanation giving for each KPI, the median, the top quartile, the range, with also some context, with some links where you can always go and fact check if you want to use this source or not, if the AI interpreted well the information or not. The same way, if you will delegate this work to an analyst, you will not just take the report and go to the CEO and say, oh, here is the benchmark. You are going to check, okay, show me where did you find that? And then for the critical information, you are going to open it to verify that the analyst interpreted the information in a correct way. So this is here, everything is documented. You have all of the facts, and really important, even if it looks really smart, you need to be here, owner of the output. And if you own the output, it means that you have verified it.
Yeah.
And that's like a something where we are as human quite lazy and we are going to take risk if we don't here verify all of the work, because we have to think that it's just a tool, it's not going to replace us.
Yeah. So treat it as like a junior associate or an intern had done this research, presented it to you. You would still double check their work, confirm their sources. Now, what happens? What do you do if you notice something and it seems off or it seems wrong, right? That could happen in real life, where someone mistakenly reads a source, or in the case of ChatGPT or AI, right, it hallucinates. It may make something up. What do you do if you see something wrong?
So first, you need to identify when there is something wrong, like before, because you might not be aware. So that's where you should really go on and make sure that you are happy with the source. You need also to make sure that there is consistency in what the story that is telling. And then if you see